This is such a good question from one of the members on thecosmicman.com. Let's get right into it. You can pause the video to read the whole question, but I do want to highlight 2 points in particular. One is this idea of God's will and how we perceive it and understand it. And secondly, what makes this question so cool. This person asks if there's a way to physically or literally see spirituality, see God's will. And they liken it to AR goggles for spirituality. I love this. The short answer is yes, absolutely, you can. First, let's talk about God's will. The idea of God's will is really tied up in 2 ideas or concepts. The first is karma, and probably not the karma that you're used to, that idea of what goes around comes around, and God's going to take care of the evil people for all the bad things that they've ever done, and some people go to heaven and some people go to hell. None of that. None of that. That's not what karma means. Karma is also not about reincarnation, about some terrible things you did in the past life and how you're paying for them now. That's also not real, never happened. They never said that. Karma is quite literally the cosmic momentum of all of time and space in reality. Meaning if there's a rock on top of a hill and I push the rock and the rock rolls down the hill, that's the rock's karma. It didn't do anything good or bad to be rolled down the hill. It was just always going to be rolled down the hill because I was always going to be there to roll it. So when you have karma that you have to ground out or deal with in your life, it's really just the particular characteristics and situations and circumstances you find yourself in being you. And you have to deal with those things. Like if you had a tough childhood, that was your karma to have that tough childhood because it's just the cause and effect of reality through history. So this is half of what God's will actually is. It's just the will of the momentum of reality from the very beginning when God spoke the word and the word became flesh. Second is our God, our human special God, the Tao of the species. This has everything to do with right execution, righteous action, never sinning or missing the mark or using your energy incorrectly. This is where human beings try to emulate their idea or conception of God. Most courageous, most strong, most merciful, most just. This is sort of an interrelationship between probably some sort of collective consciousness that we're manifesting for our aspirations for a higher being. And then that comes back down to us in a feedback loop and causes us to seek to be greater people. That's God's will in a nutshell. As far as your AR goggles for spirituality, quite literally, decalcify, defluoridate, and give this the nutrition that it needs, tryptophan and the amino acids, and you will start getting your AR goggles immediately.